Hi everyone, my name is Dawn Brady. As Corinne mentioned, I'm the mom, and I I've had a long struggle, a long struggle. I mean, and I'm getting older, and the older I get, the harder and more difficult the struggle becomes. Sometimes you have to, within yourself, tell yourself that, you know what, I need to get a hold of what I'm doing. In 2017, I had a doctor's appointment and I did all the work, the blood work. And the doctor says to me, "Oh, you have type 2 diabetes." At that time, I was in between um, veganism and vegetarian. I would say more pescatarian because I wasn't eating meat at all, but I was eating the fish. And I said, well, the devil is a liar. You know, what are we going to do about that? I'm not going to take that. I'm not listening to that. I don't want to hear anything about diabetes. You know, what are we going to do? So she started giving me a list of things to stop eating and to change over. And in that particular moment, I was already transitioning over to not eating white rice, but eating brown rice, and not eating a lot of starch, and not eating a lot of things that they had on their on the menu for me. Of course, throughout the years, I reached out to Corin, and Corin would, send me his program, and I would get it, and I would look at it, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, all right, and I'll implement a little bit here and a little bit there, you know, and I'll keep, and he'll say, well, are you doing it? And I was like, yeah, I'm trying. It's hard, but I'm trying. But yet, as I began to implement the things, I didn't realize until after, this is after coming forward, when his father passed away with a heart attack, which was devastating to both of us, you know, uh, and I'm encouraging the father, well, you got to stop eating meat because he had high blood pressure. He was a drinker, and he was eating all the wrong foods. And even though he was starting to put things in place, it was too late. It was just too late. And next thing we know, we received that call and he was in a coma, and one thing led to the next, and we had to say our final goodbyes. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have to be telling our family members goodbye because they didn't eat the right foods and because they weren't doing the right things according to what the doctors say. So when I went back to the doctor, and the doctor says to me, well, the test came back with type 2 diabetes. I said to her, well, okay, I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do. But by then, Corinne stepped in and he was like, okay, this is what you're going to do from here on in. But I realized when Corinne came that day and I literally cleaned out my refrigerator, my pantry. I was kicking, I was screaming, and I don't mean literally kicking and screaming, but I was so upset that I think I could have strangled that young man if he wasn't my son. I was that angry, and I was doing homework at the time, and I kept coming in, and he kept taking the stuff out of the cabinet, and I kept saying, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go back to do my homework. But every time I would come back, he would be going with another bag and stuff, and I would say, well, I could take that to the job for my coworkers. And I think it was because he didn't trust me. He knew that maybe if he left the bags, I would eventually put things back in the cabinet, But all like tomato sauce, we don't see the hidden sugars, the hidden salts, and the sodium that's in there. And it was him taking that moment and really sitting me down and showing me, hey, I know you like the peanut butter. Yes, it's your protein. Yes. But look at this label now. I really want you to take a look at the label. Do you see the amount of sodium? Do you see the hidden sugar? Do you see this? Do you see that? And as he began to break the things down that he was discarding that I thought was healthy, I realized that I was eating, yes, the whole wheat spaghetti. I was eating, which I thought was correct. I was eating the spaghetti sauce, and because those are my go-to, I'll have the peanut butter, I'll have the whole wheat peanut butter sandwich. I didn't have the jelly, but I'll just have maybe a little piece of peanut butter on some bread when I didn't feel like fixing anything. And it really wasn't helping me lose the weight. I think throughout the years, going on the different, like Jenny Craig and dealing with NutriSlim, yes, it helped you lose the weight. But before you know it, once you get to your goal, that weight and you relax, that weight comes back on more than you need. Throughout the years, I started the gym and I came down to 245 and I thought I was looking good, and I got in the habit of buying little exercise gadgets. And was I using it? No, I really wasn't. I was just hoarding it. It got to the point where I couldn't hardly walk. I was using a cane. I would be crying sometimes just getting out of the car, getting out of my bed, just getting up off the couch. And my pain in my back, my pain in my knee, because of the work that I do, and over the years falling and injuring myself, and I started using the QB, and that began to really help me with my motivation. Then Corin putting his program in place, and me really now committing, because when you join this program, you have to join the program mentally, physically, and wholeheartedly. Is that something that you can do and say, well, you know what? I'm going to join it, but I don't think it's going to work. You've got to join it and tell yourself that, begin to see where you want to be. I want to be down to, I say 175, Corinne say 145. But the older I get, the more saggy I get, so I'll take 175 at this point, And like I told him the other day, I'm beginning to see some abs. So I says, well, your mother now got to go get her a tummy tuck when she loses this weight, But it's about dedication to you. Where do you see yourself? Where would you like to be in your weight goal? It's a question you ought to ask yourself before you start. Where do you want to see yourself 5 years from now, looking nice and slim and trim? Or would you rather 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, a year from now, that someone is standing behind your casket bidding you goodbye because you haven't ate the right things, you didn't do what the doctors say, So I chose, and yes, I came into this program kicking and screaming. And Corin, a lot of times I sit and I listen to him talk about family members are the most difficult. Yes, we are the most difficult people to get behind something that somebody is doing in our family, especially if it's something that's going to help and that's going to be a positive move in the long run. I came into the program kicking and screaming, but at the end results, I'm ecstatic. It makes me feel good when I listen to my coworkers said, Brady, girl, you're looking good. This morning I sprang up out of my chair at the job, and I started to do like one of those run walks up the hallway. And my supervisor says to me, he said, oh, Brady, you bouncing up the hallway. I said, yeah, honey, pretty soon I'm going to be running up this hallway, because I am that much lighter. And as another coworker mentioned to me this morning, she says, You know, Brady, I remember when you used to use your cane and you would take the back of the chair, and you'd be pushing it up the hallway, walking because you couldn't get up the hallway. And she's right. I said, look at me today. You know, this past Sunday when Corinne came to visit, you know, just looking at him, look at me, and lamenting on how my clothes was fitting. And these are just things that I was wearing around the house that he has seen me in, that was snug, and now that's hanging on me. And Fernanda saying to me, I have never seen you in all the time that I've known you look this slim. It made me feel good. It gives you that initiative to push on. When the doctors tell you there's a possibility that I'll be able to take you off the medication, maybe if you lose another 40 pounds, you say to yourself, I've got another goal that I need to accomplish. It's been a long time since I've down to the weight that I've been years. I'm down to 237. And I haven't been 237 since, I would say, since 1990 somebody. I don't want to be a slave to anybody medication, because in the long run, what happens is, yes, it's fixing one thing, but then slowly but surely it's adding on something else, and then they give you more meds for this, more meds for that. And then now you find yourself that instead of being on 2 meds, you're on 4 meds or 6 meds, and you're a slave to medication. I don't want to be there. I don't want to do that. That's something that I've never wanted for myself. And I know, as I sit here and I talk to you today, it's not something that you want for yourself. You know, it's going to be a long, hard road. It's nothing that we do in life that's a positive is going to be easy. Nothing. But you know what? Once you get on board, the staff behind helps to encourage you. Once you begin to see the results. So for those of you that are sitting on the fence today and wondering to yourself, you know, oh, I know I need to lose some weight. And I really, you know, I've tried this, I've tried that, and it's helped for a little while, and, you know, and it only comes back. I'm going to tell you, reach out to Corinne and let him help you to get on board wherever you are. I want to say thank you to all of you, you know, for the classes that you give us, the weekly classes, and the information that you pour into us each and every week. Thank you.